superintendent-elect at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. And I want to welcome everybody this evening. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to get on, and we'll be with you very shortly. Well, we're hoping that everyone has had an opportunity to log on. And again, my name is Dr. Scott Wakeley, and I am the superintendent-elect at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. And what that means is this year is my transition year as I worked with Dr. Mansfield, and I will be the superintendent for the class of 2026 as you enter HF, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to be a part of welcoming you to Homewood-Flossmoor High School. This evening, we're going to walk you through some of the basics. Obviously, this isn't as good as we would like it. We wish we were in person and having you in our hallways, and we certainly will be looking for opportunities to do that before you start in August. But we are excited for you to be a Viking, for you to be a part of the class of 2026. There are so many distinguished alumni who have gone before you and set a great legacy as Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings. So we are truly honored and thrilled to be able to have this opportunity to share with you, your parents, and our incoming freshmen. And I first would like to take an opportunity to introduce somebody who is going to be special to all of us and an important part of your lives in just a minute. But our hosts, Parker Junior High PTO, Homewood PTA, and of course our HFPA, those are our parent associations. We want to truly thank you for your continued support. It is important. Our HFPA, just like the Parker and Homewood parent associations, are instrumental in helping the success of our school. And so we encourage all of you, if you're not a member of your local PTO or PTA, please consider membership and join in, participate. It's a great way to stay involved. And certainly when you enter Homewood-Flossmoor High School, that you would participate in the many activities for the HFPA. With that being said, I want to introduce the newest member of the Homewood-Flossmoor family, Clinton Alexander. Mr. Alexander will be our new principal, and I just want to give him an opportunity to say hello for the first time as a principal of Homewood-Flossmoor High School.
Thank you, Dr. Wakeley. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending tonight. We are eagerly anticipating the class of 2026. I'm excited to be the new principal. I'm excited that we can offer so many resources for our students. We have an array of activities and athletics to participate in. We have renowned programs such as our AP, our IB, and special programs. And we just want to help our future Vikings become the best version of themselves. And so once again, I am honored to be here before you tonight and be a part of this HF family, and welcome. And we just look forward to the partnership. And as this is my first year being the principal, this cohort is very special to me because it'll be really elating to see us give them their diplomas 4 years after they begin their tenure here at HF. So we just want to watch them grow and flourish once again to be the best version of themselves. And welcome, and thanks for welcoming me. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our current superintendent, who really needs no introduction, Dr. Von Mansfield. Dr. Mansfield is retiring after 20 years of distinguished service, award-winning service to the HF community. and it is my honor to have an opportunity to work with him. So I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Mansfield.
Thank you, Dr. Wakeley, and also welcome, Mr. Alexander. We're looking forward to you getting on board and getting started as soon as possible. Parents and students, welcome to this evening's event. And I call it an event because it is that important to us in terms of making sure that you have all the information that you need. You'll have a number of key people here, and you can actually put a name with a face, which is really important. A lot of high schools can't say that, but certainly we try to make sure that you have direct contact and direct opportunities with administrators and also some of our other staff to make sure you can get the questions answered that you have and make sure that you can put your best game plan together in terms of being successful. And of the 28,000 or 2,800 students that we've had here, we really try to keep our class sizes down to approximately 23 students. In some classes, you may have even fewer, depending on what that class may be. And in some of your classes, such as PE, health, you may have a few additional students beyond the 23. But for the most part, it's a really good size for interaction. And we believe it's a great instructional model in terms of a student to teacher ratio. And we have one of the lower student teacher ratios compared to most high schools in the area and also the state. I don't think you're going to get much better than that in terms of direct opportunity to work with your instructors and get the best teaching possible. We're also very proud of our graduation rate. If you come to HF, 96% is really, really good, much beyond the state average in terms of when students come to us, they are prepared for life after high school. If that's college, you'll hear a little bit later from Mr. Schmidt in the guidance office, if it's that direction, or if it's other career directly from school to career, or maybe even the military. So our students have lots of options as they finish school here at HF. You have some of the best teachers in the state, let alone the country. We have some well-renowned teachers, and our teachers have been here quite a while in the sense that the retention rate, once they come to HF, they're here. And that's a great opportunity for us to stay rooted in what we do, but also to continue to develop the ideas that make teaching and learning at an optimum level for your students. We've also had over 92 AP scholars. We have a pretty robust AP programming system here at HF in which your students can take college courses if they so choose. We've had students take college courses their freshman year all the way through their senior year. Also, we would challenge students, if you're not at that level as of yet coming in as an 8th grader, don't feel bad or feel intimidated. We still want you at some point in time before you leave HF to have at least one of those courses on your high school transcript. We've also had state scholars to the tune of 82 students last year. And this year we had 6 National Merit Scholars, and those are students who rank amongst the top students in the state and also the country, and also National Merit semifinalists and commended students as well. So once again, we've had great students attend HF, and the best part of it is as those students leave, others have to come and pick up the challenge, and they've met the challenge over the years, and we feel that you as 8th graders will do the same. So welcome this evening, and thank you very much.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for coming. My name is Jim Schmidt, and I am the guidance department chair. And, it's where do you begin, right? And I like to encourage our students and parents to begin with the end in mind. And if you think about that statement, the end in mind, 4 years from now, 4.5 years from now, you'll be graduates. 4 years from now, you'll be receiving those college letters. You'll be deciding, am I going to college, military, job? The opportunities afforded to you because of your education and your other experiences while at HF are abundant. As you see from the slide, more than 3/4 of our students graduate and go on to higher education. If you look at the next statistic of our graduating class last year, mind you, these students graduated through the first year, coming out of the first year of the pandemic. Our graduates ended up on 115 different campuses across the US and internationally. Our students are very, very well prepared. They're highly sought after, and our students go on to be successful both locally as well as nationally and internationally. Our students are comfortable traveling outside the Midwest comfort zone, and they are very successful in doing that. You'll see our Ivy League acceptance rate is something that we're very proud of. Nationally, it's a 7.1% national acceptance out of high schools. HFs over the last several years, over the class of 2020 was 18.5%. On average, we're right around the 15% of acceptance. We do not have 2021 data due to the clearinghouse because of being through that pandemic. All the data is not readily available. But on average, that is our national acceptance statistic for Ivy League schools, highly selective schools. And then I think an even more important data point for you to consider in the context of your child, 82% of our students who go to college will matriculate from freshman to sophomore year. The schools that we work with tell us that that data point is so indicative of our students' preparation. They wish all high schools could give them that data point. It talks about our students and the preparation that they've had on campus here and the likelihood of them being successful on their campus, and the fact that they retain or will be retained from freshman to sophomore year. Their percentage of graduating within 4 and 5 years is significant. There is a high rate of graduation within 4 to 5 years if they stay from freshman to sophomore year. This is what our HF students do. But not all of our students will graduate and go on to college. In fact, we've seen this number change over the last couple of years because of the opportunities that our students are afforded. Our number of students joining the military, when you graduate from HF, in order to enter the military, you'll need to take what's called the ASVAB exam. The higher you score on that test, the more career opportunity pathways you have in the military. I've worked personally directly with students who have scored a 99 out of 100 on that, and their military career was as a chemical engineer in Hawaii. That's not a bad placement if you're going to be in the military, in addition to the professional development of chemical engineering. But that's not all our students do. We have students going right into the trades. And we've seen a number of our students, the preparation in some of our career and technical education programs. Our students in those programs are highly sought after. They're highly recruited while in high school. And we have colleges and we have industry fighting over them, saying, hey, come to school, or no, come and work with us and we'll give you the training in order to continue to progress. So experiences and certifications that our students earn while at HF, they are highly recruitable right out of high school. So those are some of the things that to be thinking about over and selecting your courses, which will come over the next month, and then matriculating through HF over the next 4 years in preparation for what comes next. And then you'll see, as a highlight, these are what some of our schools, these are just some of the schools that our students have attended on average over the last 10 years. 115 schools, just as a reminder, last year's graduates ended up on 115 different campuses this year. Many of our students are prepared to compete in that admissions process, but also qualify for scholarships that range anywhere from a couple $1,000s all the way to full rides, which right now colleges range, a cost of college ranges between $25,000 to $85,000 to $90,000 a year. And some of our students are earning enough scholarship to drastically decrease that cost, if not attend free for all 4 years. So if you look at the list of schools here, these are schools that are spread out throughout our country, that once again, our students are recruited, highly recruited, right, highly sought after, and then they go, they're very successful, and they retain on campus. Most of them retain on campus through their 4 years.
Good evening, eighth graders and parents. My name is Jen Hester, and I'm the Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Professional Learning. And in addition to the rich friendships that you're going to build here at HF and all the multitude of activities, athletics that you're going to become involved in, you're also here to continue your learning journey. And the learning journey here at HF, as Mr. Schmidt spoke to, is really about preparing you for a college career and for life outside of HF. But in those 4 years, and 4 years can be a short time, but it's also time to really get involved and engaged. We have a robust number of courses and offerings for you that will meet your interests, that will meet your needs as a student, and that are really going to provide you with the challenge to stay engaged. First and foremost, we have core courses that are required to meet your graduation requirements, so that you meet and fulfill all those requirements to graduate by the time you leave us. And we think about those core courses, those are the ones in English, math, social studies, science. We also have requirements in electives. And then we have a really exciting options for elective courses. And at the high school level, as you may know, we have options in engineering and manufacturing and culinary. In fine arts, we have a really robust theater program, visual arts, and in music. All of our, in our physical education classes, we have electives that students can pursue and enjoy in that area as well. And then all our core subject areas. In science, we have zoology and botany. There are courses in mathematics and statistics. So you'll be hard pressed not to find something that you really enjoy and a pathway that is just right for you here at HF. I will tell you, I think our student services team is one of the best in any high schools that I've seen, and our teaching staff and our teachers are. And you're going to find that both our counselors and our teachers are excited to meet you and help you to begin to plan that very important 4-year pathway. Again, starting with the end in mind, but getting you ready to have that, that very engaging and meaningful year as you come here next year. For all of our students at different times in their career, they find that they need support. And oftentimes our students need support and resources when they're struggling, but they also need support and resources as they're in accelerated classes. And that's why we have really built a multi-tiered system of support. And really what that is lots of adults who wrap their arms around students and support them both academically and socially and emotionally. And that system of support is really built in tiers. And that first tier of support is provided for all students. And I'm really proud to say that we have a rich curriculum framework that supports our student in their learning progression in their courses as they move from course to course. And we also have Viking Compass, which really supports our students with social and emotional learning and really learning about career opportunities, career options, and also really learning about the college process and some important financial literacy skills. In tier 2, that is where we start to really provide support for students who need it in small groups. We start to provide intervention services for students experiencing all different needs. And then we have specialized programs. And tier 3, we still provide everything that we provide for supports in tier 1 and tier 2. But what happens is we provide very specific and individualized services, both by teachers, by social workers, by school counselors, and other staff and personnel. So we want you to know, students, and we want you to know, parents, that when you come here at HF, that we're ready to support you when things are going smooth and strong, and in times when you feel like things are getting maybe just a little bumpy on the road, and that's normal for everyone to experience. And so in thinking about being successful at HF, number one is get involved. The relationships that you build here with your peers, with the adults at HF, with your teachers, with your counselors, with coaches, with sponsors, are really going to be that bonding force that really supports you and keeps you engaged as you're here for 4 years. You really want to work to develop and maintain a 4-year academic plan, and really seeing forward to the future, but then also focusing very deeply at the year that you're in. So for next year, your freshman year, you want to take courses that challenge you and engage you. Sometimes we think it's fun to take an easy ride, and it might be, but it just doesn't keep us going. So we want to stay challenged at the level where we can experience the rewards. It's super important, and we're really set up to help you stay organized. So staying organized with all of your courses, and also with your social life and your social activities here at HF. You want to work hard to complete your coursework and complete your homework and stay on top of things, and then communicate regularly with teachers. We encourage our students to be the first line of communication with their teachers, so that in class that you're reaching out to teachers and asking them for help and support, letting them know when things are going on in life for you. And then we're also highly supportive of our students reaching out and communicating by email as well. And then, of course, when you need that extra line of communication, calling in your parents, those people around you in your life that take care of you, to communicate with your teachers as well. And then lastly, at the first sign of struggle, raise your hand in class, ask for help, reach out to your teachers, reach out to your team, reach out to your parents and folks at home, and let them know, hey, I need some help. And if you do it at the first sign of struggle, that support can come in early, and you'll get the help that you need right away. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Craig Fanton, who is our associate principal.
And before Mr. Fanton gets started, I just want to encourage, if there are a few questions that you may have, we may not be able to get to all of them during this session, but you could put them in the question and answer section, and we will do our best to answer some of them this evening, and those that we don't get to this evening, we will certainly, along with this video, post it on our website and do a question and answer for incoming freshmen for your future reference. Mr. Fanton?
Thanks, Dr. Wakeley. I'm here to talk about, my name is Craig Fanton, the associate principal. I'm here to talk about what students do beyond the classroom and why that is so important. As Dr. Hester had mentioned in that previous slide, a couple of important things to think about as you bring your students along. If you're new to our school district, this is a very important message to understand what we have available here. And if you're a veteran parent to our school district, you know all of the things that we have to offer. But if there's questions out there, certainly reach out to us so we can, let you know exactly what it is. But those 2 points that I want to go back to what Dr. Hester said is get involved and build relationships, and opportunities to do that exist here at HF. And you'll see as this slide says that we have 31 athletic sports at 83 different levels within those sports. So there's plenty of opportunity if your child is an athlete to get involved in some sport that fits their niche, and an opportunity to play really at a high level at everything that we do. Our coaches do a tremendous job of bringing our kids to the highest level. And most importantly, it goes back to the relationship piece. And it's very important that you understand that our coaches do a great job of getting to know the student athletes and always have their best interests in mind, whatever that, aspiration is for those students. And then as you see on that next bullet point, we have approximately 80 different activities that include band, choir, orchestra, and theater. And if you have an opportunity at some point, come and check out our fine arts, our new fine arts wing. It is second to none in the state of Illinois and probably the country. Many colleges would be jealous of what we have to offer facility-wise, as well as our teachers their knowledge base and their willingness to put in the time and effort to see that our students are very successful. I always have an opportunity to speak to a lot of students because I'm in the hallways quite a bit and have a lot of conversations. And, and going back to that relationship piece, a message that I always give to students when I have that opportunity to talk to them, there's many times that students will come to us and ask us to write letters of recommendation, to be a character reference, or many former students will come back and ask us to do that. And we always love to do that, right? We want to speak highly of our students. And I can always tell them, listen, your grades, what it says on your transcripts, that is what it is. There's nothing we can go back and do to change that. And either the school that's trying to, find out if you're a good fit, or the employer that's trying to figure out if you're a good fit, they're going to know if you have the skills or the grades to get, to be there. But what they really want to know is what kind of person you are, what kind of student you were when you were here. And that it goes a long way. And we love to be able to have those conversations with those college admissions officers, with those employers, to let them know what kind of person you are, because in the end, that's really what's going to carry you in life, is what kind of person you are and what kind of work ethic you had. Did you have the grit? Did you have, those interpersonal skills? So I can't emphasize getting involved in things outside of the classroom, how important that is to develop those skills. Now, some upcoming events that we have and some important dates, and these will be available on our website. So, don't feel pressured to jot these down. We'll always have these out there for you. For our incoming 8th graders, we have a registration communication that will be going out through the mail, and it will be available on our HF website. So if you go to our new website, it just revamped it, I think, this week on Monday or Tuesday. So if you haven't been there in a while, you will see a new look to our website, and you're going to click on the students drop-down menu, and in there you're going to see incoming freshman class of 2026. And that's going to get updated. There's information there right now, but that mailing will go out near the end of January. So expect that, and that information will be available on that website, and it will talk about what you need to do to get your student registered for classes next year. We'll have our incoming freshman registration presentation on February 10th, and that will be done via Zoom. Jim Schmidt will be leading that. And then the important incoming freshman registration appointments with the counselors, that will begin on February 19th. And once again, we are going to follow the same format that we did last year when we did them remotely. It was very successful, and it allowed parents who maybe couldn't make it there on that Saturday, or had something going on, that they could get there and be available to have that one-on-one conversation with their student's counselor to figure out what classes are best for their students to take. Some other important things on there are summer school and summer academy. Our first semester will start on June 6th, and the second semester will start on June 28th. Also summer camps. If any students are interested in participating in any of our summer camps, if you haven't done so, many of our junior high and middle school students have done so in the past, but you do need to register on HF 8 to 18. I don't know many schools that aren't using that website to help them manage their extracurricular activities. And then as far as school registration, once you get registered and get your classes set, we do have to do this again at the end of July and at the beginning of August. So look for information coming out over the summer. That's where you will come in, get your class schedule, get your locker, get your books, get your PE uniform, things like that. So that's important to keep on the horizon, and it will be spread out over 2 weeks. So it usually ends up on a Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then the following Monday, just in case parents or people are on vacation. And once again, that information will be available on our website. And then I know it's hard to believe to even think about this, but our first day for our students will be August 17th, 2022. And once again, that's going to be that first day when our freshmen, this class of 2026, has the opportunity to walk through our hallways as an official Homewood-Flossmoor High School student.
And one of the things that just to reiterate for Mr. Fanton, that point of that first day of school, that will be something that we started this year. So that first day of school on the 17th will be for freshmen and new students to the district's transfer students. So It will give an opportunity for freshmen to have that first day of school somewhat all to themselves. So there's lots of opportunities. Our incoming freshmen can participate and are encouraged to participate in summer school, and certainly encouraged to participate in the sports and activities camps. In fact, we just are getting ready to build our robust strength and conditioning program for all of our students, where we're bringing on one of the top strength coaches in the country who will be a part of our staff this summer, working with our student athletes and our students that we're really excited about. So there's a lot of great opportunity for all of our students coming in to Homewood-Flossmoor.
Well, I guess at this point in time, do we field a few of the questions that people might have in the Q&A? Dr. Hester, I don't know if you have access to it, but I think there's 5 or 6 questions there.
It might be better if one of you just reads the questions and fields it, just because of the presentation tools. Actually, I can screen. So the first one is how we know, oh, go ahead. How do we know about the 4-year registration process and the academic plan that Dr. Hester mentioned?
Mr. Schmidt, do you want to take a shot at that in terms of how the counselors are going to work with students to develop their 4-year academic plan?
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Dr. Mansfield. Sorry, I was clicking unmute. Yeah, as Mr. Fanton announced, communication will be going out via email and our website. I'm sorry, not via email, via U.S. Postal Service and our website, beginning not next week, but the following week, Monday the 24th. Monday the 24th through the following Tuesday. Look for that to come in the mail and or check our website. What will happen is then on Thursday, February 10th, me and several others will be doing a presentation to our incoming parents and students about what that registration looks like. After that meeting, we will release a Google form, a course request Google form to our students. You'll use that to walk through and actually begin to select your courses. It's a form that will walk you through step by step. You will also be given a link to begin to schedule meetings to meet with your school counselor. Those will begin on that Saturday, the 19th, and continue that week beyond that. So if you can't do this, can't do the 19th, we build flexibility into that this year, something different than what we've done in the past. And we're also going to try to have you meet directly with your school counselor to begin to build that relationship right out of the box as much as possible. So all that communication will be starting within the next week or so. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or my administrative assistant, Linda McConaughey. She really runs the show here when it comes to registration. You will interact with both of us, and then eventually we'll work you into working with your school counselor as well. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions you have, and we'll help in any way possible.
Okay. We also had, Jim, I don't think you just spoke to us, the summer school registration. So everything is available online for summer school registration that is in person. The difference.
Dr. Hester, I'm
Yes.
sorry, Dr. Hester. That 22nd, January 22nd is only for current HF students. And Craig, I don't know if you have some more specifics, but what we've always done in the past is freshman summer school registration will begin after that January, that February 19th date, or right, it's usually on that February 19th date.
Okay. And that's important because then we know what you've already registered for or where you are for the school year. In terms of academy versus summer school, our summer school is, we provide curriculum and courses, some curriculum and courses that we offer during the school year. Academy is more of a of a specialized program for particular students, we also offer something called Summer Bridge, where students are invited. Mr. Schmidt, I didn't know if you wanted to add something.
No, Dr. Esther, I think that's good.
Okay, all right, and then the next one is that was the difference between summer school and summer academy. Next one is, are both semesters required for students to attend summer academy, or can they attend first or second semester? And I think that means both terms for summer school. And I think that one we'd have to get back to. I believe you can just attend one, but we'll get back to you on that one. We got that one. For the forms you sent us, can you send it again, please, or no?
Dr. Esther, they may be referring to my reference of information we'll be sending them. That will be going out the week, if I'm correct in that, that will be going out the week of January 24th. And then we will do a presentation on February 10th. So start looking for communication for incoming freshman registration the week of January 24th to the 28th. It'll be through the U.S. Postal Service in addition to on our website.
Okay. We have, what will the semesters look like? I think that's for summer school, but I'm not sure about that. And we gave the dates and times for those semesters. I'm not sure what that next question is.
That's how many periods we
Okay,
have.
how many periods?
So there are,
Go ahead.
yeah, so we offer 7 periods. Not every student has a first period class. But I would say, more than half of our students do take a first period class. For freshmen that are looking to get an extra elective in their schedule, they'll probably need to take that first period class. That'll offer them another period that they can take an elective. So typically, like I said, about a little bit over 50% of our students do take a first period class. And then our schedule is different. It's not a normal, 1 through 7 every single day. On Mondays and Fridays, we have periods 1 through 7, along with our Viking Compass class. So that's built in there and during our lunch periods or during 4th and 5th. And then we do have our block schedule on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So it is a different schedule, modified block that, your students will get all that information before the start of school.
Okay, next question we have is, what classes would be best for the career of etymology? And those are, so really what we would do is counseling with students in pathways and really connecting both our courses to that interest in that career. So we don't have a specific pathway built for that right now.
Dr. Hester, I might add, we've got a wide variety of science classes, if that's the main interest. And a lot of that is preparing yourself for college. And certainly once you get into college, you can take all of those courses that lead into this particular area, but you will be very well prepared coming through our science courses, because at this juncture, you have to have at least chemistry and physics to graduate, with multiple AP classes in various areas as well that would certainly support this if this is where your interest is.
Right. And so in entomology, I mean, you probably want to focus, in that biology and even our zoology courses. And we do have clubs and activities that take care of animals, from snakes to rabbits to lizards, all within the building that students can take care of. It's not necessarily, whether they're taking care of different kinds of insects, specifically in entomology, but those are things that you certainly could find an interest in some of our clubs and activities.
Okay, next one is what measures are we taking to have students tested considering the uptick in COVID?
Well, I would say, we're taking many of the mitigation factors that are being, all of the mitigation factors that are being requested by the Illinois Department of Public Health and the Cook County Health Department. We have air purification, portable air purification devices in all of our rooms. We've revamped our cafeterias to make sure that we can socially distance as best possible. In fact, in both the north and south building, we have deployed the use of our bleachers and our gymnasiums, in addition to the cafeterias. Certainly hand washing and PPE and mask wearing is something that all of our students do. We are fortunate that our buildings are very clean, and we also offer shield testing, as both of our feeder junior high and middle schools also offer. So that is something that is currently taking place. Hopefully, we'll be able to get through this next phase of the virus, and we'll be able to have somewhat of a relatively normal school experience next year. So, but in the case that we don't, we certainly will be prepared to make sure it's a safe environment as best we can.
Okay, next one we have is when will class placements be made? For example, regular versus AP.
Jim, you may want to touch also on that. There was a question about placement testing, so that'll kind of tie in with this if you want to address it.
Oh, I didn't see it. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so a couple things. First of all, regarding placement testing, we are no longer doing placement testing. There's been a trend at the university level that started gaining momentum prior to the pandemic, and that's called a holistic review. As a high school, what we have found is that while a placement exam can be helpful, right, as a single data point, it's just that. It is just a single data point. And there's a lot of other more relevant pieces of information out there that we are choosing to now use in order to help you as a student and parent decide which courses and which course levels in order to enroll in. So what does that mean? What we're doing is we're pulling from the junior highs your grades. We're looking at your, I'll call them star assessments, your reading, Lexile assessments that you're taking at the junior high. I know there's two different ones that are being used out there. We're utilizing that data. We're utilizing teacher input. We're utilizing any other standardized data that's coming from the junior highs or available. We also issue, all students have the opportunity to take a survey. They did that back in December. So we pull all that information into a database. And then what we're going to do is we're going to provide for you, it's called a student profile. All that information is compiled on that document. And then with that, we're going to give you what our different courses are looking at in terms of curricular, right? Things to consider curricularly, but also in terms of that level. And the one thing I want to stress about that level, we have honors and AP and IB level courses. We have college prep level courses. We want our students in the classes where they can be most successful. We define success as A's, B's, and the occasional C. And we mean the occasional C spread out over 4 years, okay? We mostly want our students earning A's and B's. So what course level can you be in which you can learn as much as you possibly can, get a great experience, classroom experience, content curricular experience, while earning an A or a B. We're going to walk you through that. And then the other piece of this is the human component. We don't just give you this and say, make your decisions, give it back to us, and you're done. We are going to meet with you and answer all of your questions. We can make any changes after our meeting that you guys deem necessary. Our goal is to have our students in the most engaged classes, the classes that are going to engage them the most. Let me rephrase that. Thank you. The classes that are going to engage them the most, the classes that speak to their strengths, speak to their interests. That's what we are going to work on in terms of placing your children. When we meet with you that week of beginning February 19th, you're going to give us a list of course requests. We're going to finalize that list. Actual placement in classes then takes place over the next 3 months. As Mr. Fannin pointed out earlier, you will not see your course schedule until you come for book and fee, what I refer to as old book and fee days, our registration days, you'll get your course schedule. If you request an AP course, we are going to do everything to put you in that class if you feel that that is the best class that you can be most successful. And then the other key is, if you choose to pull yourself into that level, we're going to support you. We're going to support you be successful in that level. So I hope that answers your question. A lot of information in there. If you have any questions over the next 3 weeks, please jot them down, bring them to your counselor meeting, and we will help you make sure that your child is placed in the best class where they can be most successful.
Okay, if an incoming freshman showed interest for sports and filled out information at the open house a couple of months back, when do communications start going out for those? So that's referring to Voyage to Excellence.
Well, I think you're going to.
Go ahead, Craig, you can answer.
Well, I think you're going to see those fall sports. They're going to start reaching out to you sooner because they're obviously going to be that next round after at the end of the school year. But you will be contacted. You'll receive information about all the camps that are going to be available. So if you just go to our website, once again, that is information is going to be on there. So if you have a particular sport that you are interested in, every one of our sports offers a summer camp. So go on to our website, HF Athletics, and we'll take a look. And, you know, like I said, it's not updated with those dates of those camps at this time, but it will be shortly. If you have any questions, you can contact our athletic director. He may know what those dates are and just hasn't published those yet. But you want to get those, you want to get into those camps and get in front of those coaches and get to know those coaches as soon as possible. But as I said, I think those fall sports will be reaching out in the near future to start setting up some times for you to have on your calendar.
Another question about summer school. The summer classes, especially those for freshmen, are in person this summer. The next one is, so students in orchestra should take first period to have an elective class. It's highly beneficial for somebody in orchestra to take a first period class.
Dr. Hester, you might want to talk about, or either Jim, how first period classes work, as that's an optional period for students. So not all students take a first period class, but maybe you want to talk a little bit about the strategy of what first period has to offer.
What it really does is give opportunity for more electives or even more study in a particular area. So you can meet your graduation requirements without taking that first period class. But it does give you the opportunity to take more of those things that you're interested in.
Yeah,
Dr.
and it
Hester,
is.
can I jump in that too, Dr. Mansfield? I'm sorry, because it's to add to what Dr. Hester said, our graduation requirements, the number of credits required for graduation is 22. The majority of our students will have anywhere between 24 to 26. I've seen students graduate out of here with, I think the most I've seen is 33 or 34, definitely 32. Now, does that mean you have to be that student? Absolutely not. But to Dr. Hester's point, it affords you the opportunity to build more experiences into your high school years, which really, one of the goals of the next 4 years is to grow academically, personally, and socially, get a better understanding of who you are, what you like, where your strengths and weaknesses are, and you're really developing to catapult yourself after high school into that next phase. For most of our students, it's college. Where are your strengths? What do you want to develop? Our kids are ready to go off and be successful, not just in core content areas, but our students are highly sought after in our elective areas. That first period really gives them the opportunity. The other thing with first period is it's the only class in our current schedule, same schedule we've had for about 20 years now. It's the only class that meets. Well, I actually, you know what? I have to stop that statement. It used to be meets five days a week, but now that we have Wednesdays, we no longer have that. It is the one class that meets 50 minutes a period, 50 minutes for the 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
And parents, we do have bus routes that run both for the 7:30 class as an optional class, but all students would have to be to school at least by 8:30. And there's probably about a 40 to 45 minute differentiation. So if you're taking a 7:30 class, you're probably going to have to be on that bus stop by 6:40 or maybe 6:45. And the buses try to drop off by 7:10, 7:15. You also have the option to drop your student off if you choose. Most of our freshmen aren't driving by that time, so most of the parents do drop them off if they don't want to take the bus. And we do offer a bus service for the 8:30 regular start for everyone. And again, parents can drop students off at 8:30 as well, but we do have bus services for both.
All right, I lost one here that had what were they keep jumping as they come in. The start and end time of school. So the start time with the first period class, with the exception of Wednesdays, is 7:30, and our end time is 3 p.m. for students, and the start time on Wednesdays is 8:44. We had there was one also in explaining block scheduling. And block scheduling is where I think Mr. Panton already had talked about that on Mondays and Fridays, our students have every class period. But on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they actually have, there are really about 4 periods in their schedule, and those are extended periods. And that gives a longer class period time that allows, especially for sciences with labs, it allows for, extended classwork in all of them. And in those days, they don't have their classes consecutively in a row. So for example, block 1 is period 2, 3 is period 1, 2, 3, 5, and 4. And block 2 is 7, 6, 5, and 4. And 3 is 2, 3, 6, and 7. So the students get very used to this schedule over the time. We teach it to them when they first come in. There'll be a lot of focus on that in that first day of school in orientation. And we have a lot of support and review of that in the beginning in that Viking compass as well. And then teachers also help students from class to class in making sure that they're heading to the right to the next class and interpreting their schedules well.
Yeah, in short, it's like a college schedule where on certain days you'll have a class and then you may not have that class on a Tuesday, or you may not have that class on a Thursday, depending on what the schedule is. But it's very similar to a college schedule in terms of having a class maybe 4 times a week compared to having it every day at the same time. And the class may also be at a different time in the day. So that really is a synopsis of what the block schedule is.
Mr. Schmidt, there is a couple questions related to summer school in terms of summer school registration next Saturday. How can we register for summer school? So there's just a couple. If you can just touch on summer school just one more time about when they can register, I think that will take care of a good number of the summer school questions that are posted.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Dr. Wakeley. So next Saturday, the 22nd of January, that registration, summer school registration, is just for current HF students, current freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. For incoming freshmen, when we mail you the information regarding registration, we will include summer school registration information at that time. I know right now that our summer school office has been working on putting everything together for our current students. Once they're done with that, they will finalize all their communications regarding our incoming freshmen, and you'll receive that. You will not be denied summer school opportunities because you'll be registering later. So don't worry about that. It'll all be in that communication. And then I'll be happy to answer any questions you have more specifically regarding summer school. And your counselor will, once you meet with them and do your actual course selection. And Dr. Wakeley, to that point, I also want to stress that HF is a unique institution in many ways. There are over 28,000 high schools, I believe, in this country. I put HF as one of the most unique for a number of reasons, and one of which is the registration process. Many schools will just come in and say, well, you got these classes you're taking at this level and you're done. HF is different. This is a partnership, and parents and students, please hear this very clearly. This is a partnership. You guys being engaged in this process is something we welcome, right? And we look forward to this. Our board policy states, in the end, our parents are able to select the course levels at which our students take those courses. We will pull teacher recommendations. We have anecdotal and historical information to reference. But in the end, we are going to talk through that, all of that with you, so that you and your child are comfortable and excited about the classes that you select for their freshman year. And the other thing is, a lot of schools coming in as a freshman, you're going to have 1, 2, 3 electives to pick from. That's not the case at HF. I don't know the exact number, but I'll tell you it is at least over 20 different elective possibilities to choose from outside of your core courses. There's another
Okay.
question on here. I'm sorry, Dr. Wakeley. There's another
That's
question.
okay.
What are graduation requirements? Your freshman year, you will take a math class. You have to have math at least freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Most freshmen are in algebra. Some are in geometry. Some are in algebra 2 trig, and a few are in pre-calculus. But you will be in a math class. You'll be in a science class, biology. You'll be in an English class, English 1. You'll be in a freshman PE and health class, okay? Something that's new this year is world history is now open to freshmen if you would like it. We're going to strongly encourage that you consider that. We'll talk more about that when we do our freshman presentation. So you have 4 graduation requirements, possibly a 5th. We strongly recommend a world language beginning freshman year, but not required, but we strongly recommend it, which then leaves you potentially 1 elective. So you kind of see where having that conversation and walking through all the different possibilities is going to be important for you to select your freshman year experience.
And so as we end our time with you this evening, just a couple of the questions. One of them has to do with, which we love this question, what kind of clubs do we have? The short answer is we have so many clubs, we probably couldn't list them all at this time. So what we would encourage you to do, you can go on the website and check out all our clubs. You will also be able to go on our website and look at the course guide, which has a lot of the information that was discussed this evening. And you know, it's a learning process. We will ensure that you're successful. Our goal is to make sure that you're successful. And so we're going to work very hard. We know that this can be a time of some apprehension and anxiety as you move from the junior high level to the high school, but there's so many people. There are hundreds of people at HF whose sole responsibility is to make sure that you're comfortable, make sure that your needs are being met, and that partnership that Mr. Schmidt just talked about, not only with your parents, but we are thrilled that you will be a part of the legacy of Homewood-Flossmoor. And before we end, I certainly want to give Dr. Mansfield an opportunity, as this is his last opportunity to talk to a freshman class coming in. And then, of course, I know Mr. Alexander would like to also share some parting thoughts. So,
Yeah,
Mr. Alexander, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Alexander.
So as we part ways, we're eagerly anticipating the arrival of class of 2026. We have an array of resources, and we could take this step by step. A lot of information has been shared. Doesn't all have to be retained today. If you have any further questions, we're here for you. This is your new family, and we're excited. So just welcome aboard, and thank you for attending tonight.
Just one quick business item. I do see a question on here about IB, Dr. Hester. I don't know if we answered that in terms of those students that
Can
were.
answer it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. So students families were sent out invitations for an IB invitation meeting, just to have more information and learn about that program. Our IB program actually starts in the junior year. We do have what we call Prep Academy that helps students take courses that would lead to that program in the junior year. So short answer is students were invited to learn more and explore the potential of enrolling in that program.
Yeah, IB is a selection opportunity only. However, as you speak with your counselor, our AP and college courses are wide open. So that is still open to every freshman student who would qualify or would want to take on that challenge. So that's something that I would talk to your counselor about as you register. And as Dr. Wakeley said, I am winding down. It's hard to believe it's been 20 plus years, but it's gone fast. And for freshmen coming in, I would kind of akin it to you. I'm sure it doesn't seem like a long time ago, but you guys were just in about the 4th grade. So think about your teacher, think about your classmates and how much fun it was in the 4th grade. And now you're in the 8th grade. Well, high school is going to go just that fast. 4 years from now, you're preparing for college and you're out of here. But I will say for those who come and those who stay, they will have a tremendous experience here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. So you have a wonderful legacy to adhere to, and you have everything here to be successful. In fact, you have to work really, really hard not to be successful here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. So once again, thank you so very much for the opportunity. You guys are going to be in great hands with Dr. Wakeley and Dr. Hester, as well as Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Fanton, who've been here many years now and have a great wealth of experience. And with Mr. Alexander coming on board, I'm confident you guys will do him proud as well, being his first class to graduate.
Thank you and have a great evening.